Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. Happy New Year once again. I wish you all the best. May all the things you pray for, all the things you wish for in 2024, may they come your way. On Channel's Book Club, we're determined to make this a year you will remember. Please send in all your ideas, all your thoughts on how we can improve the show, and I promise you we'll work on as many as possible. To get the year started, we've got two events that happened recently. We deliberately decided to hold on to them and just broadcast them just about now to give you a great start to the year. A book titled Letters, Kinships, and Social Mobility in Nigeria, written by Professor Olufemi Vaughan. And if you've listened to me a lot, you'll know that this is a man I admire a lot. His first book, Religion and the Making of Nigeria, is one. That's one of my favorites when it comes to Nigerian history. Well, Professor Olufemi Vaughan has done it again with this book. Sometime around 2003, his late father handed over to him a box containing about 3,000 letters. Yes, you heard me right. 3,000 letters written between 1926 and 1994. Letters that he, the father, exchanged with family members, friends, associates. Imagine that. A few months after his father died, Professor Olufemi Vaughan took those letters and began to analyze them critically. And then that exercise led to the production of this great book that is just fabulous when you are thinking about social history of Nigeria during the colonial era and then post-colonialism. Well, the book was launched in no other place than Ibadan. How appropriate. Enjoy this.
High-profile Nigerians, including Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and his deputy, Bayo Lawal, historians, academicians, families, and friends gathered at the Trenchard Hall, University of Ibadan, to launch Professor Olufemi Vaughan's newest book, Letters, Kinship, and Social Mobility in Nigeria. The book is a compilation of over 3,000 letters exchanged between the author's late father, Chief Abiodun Alfred Vaughan, and his family, friends, and associates between 1926 and 1994. Chief Abiodun Alfred Vaughan had kept those priceless letters and handed them over to his son in 2003 before passing away.
I must confess that this book is one of the unconventional books I've ever read in my entire life, if not the first one. The letters exchanged between family members, in-laws, friends, and compatriots could be designed into a book with an uncommon title as Letters, Kinship, and Social Mobility in Nigeria is amazing and incredible.
Professor Olufemi Vaughan, the Alfred Sergeant Lee 41, and Mary Amos Lee, Professor of African Studies at Amherst College, Amherst, Massachusetts, USA, spoke on the motive behind his new book.
What I attempted to do is to distill their ideas, and it's quite a journey just to articulate what they're all about, the extent to which they're so grounded in Ibadan values, Yoruba values, Nigerian values at a transformative moment in Nigerian history. As rightly mentioned earlier, this is also very much an Aremo book, and it's very much a Kudeti book.
The Oyo State Governor, while applauding Professor Vaughan, challenged participants to follow the footsteps of Professor Vaughan by preserving and sharing their own family stories for posterity.
One thing also that I learned from reading a little bit is the need to keep records. So we should keep records, but not only keep records, make sure that we engage in things that are edifying. I've seen the usefulness of the information in this in this book. Letters, kinship, and social mobility. I mean, they trace the family history, all the way to Sierra Leone and all of these places. And I want to encourage our people, at least if the only message they will get out of it, if it will be, look, at least document the good things that you are doing. Document it. Let the people, let them know. I mean, some of us, if they dig into our family history, I'm sure Prof is still proud to share some of this, because so many generations will still read this. It is because your ancestors, they did things that you're proud of. If all they're doing is, fighting, bitching, and backbiting within the family, I'm sure you won't be proud to put all of those out there. So we also should try to do things that are edifying.
And the book was eventually unveiled by the governor.
I do this in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Please buy your coffee at a discounted dollar denominated rate. Thank you.
Panelists at the occasion applauded the literary work and congratulated the author.
We've lost so many things when we listen to what has happened today. History has been melted through the tin ear by not keeping good things to project us from the cradle to the present moment.
As I was reading the book, rather than for me to enjoy the book, I was writing another book in my head. So those are the kind of problems. But basically, we must thank Prof for working on these papers and these letters. The only question I have for him, which I think perhaps I missed from reading the book, is what of Baba's diaries?
Professor Vaughan spoke further on the essence of the book.
For me, what is gratifying about writing what is otherwise a difficult book to write, there's no formula to write in a book like this. What prompted the book itself are the values and ideas that I saw consistently among the letter writers. So you can imagine if people are writing, say, about 50, 60 letters over a period of 8 years, or about 150 letters over a period of, say, about 15 years, on a range of related topics. These are people who are related to one another, who are connected to one another's friends, associates, compatriots, in-laws. There's something quite significant and unique about that experience. So you see that element of repetition in terms of ideas and values. The issues are consistent. So for me, that notion of kinship, people looking out for one another, supporting one another, literally having each other's back, is something that just resonated in many of the letter writers.
Participants at the book launch bear their mind on the value the book will add to the society.
The mere fact that we have records of something that transpired within a family, within a clique of friends, and we're able to read it, to show, we were able to know the emotional contact they had, we're able to show the relationship they kept within that family. It's something that we should cherish. It's something that we should pass on. And as one of the panelists said, we should encourage our own children and even our age group to start writing letters again. The culture of letter writing should not die. We should find a means to ensure that we write to ourselves, not only by texting, and it's also encouraging us to use our modern language, Yoruba language, to write, to talk, and to do other things so that we'll keep the culture running in the family.
Even though it talks about people's personal lives, but again, the book is still historical in that it shows how a particular family, an extended family, how they related with each other, how they took care of each other, how they made sure that things happened around them. Again, it shows the deep education and civilization of this family and those related to that family. Their level of sophistication as far back as over 100 years ago. So you can see that, it helps us to understand that Ibadan in particular had such dignified structures, that families came together, wrote to each other, helped each other, and it's a good lesson for all of us.
The writers of the letters include Miriam Vaughan, Samuel Vaughan, Dorcas Bernard, S.A. Oloko, Rachel Akinloye, Jadesola Odebumi, Abiodu Vaughan, Damilele Bernard, Adisa Akinloye, and Gladys Vaughan.
Hello, my name is Anoluwa Koka and I'm the author of the book, The Sweetest Thing. I currently live in the UK as a project manager in IT and I write on the side. The reason why I wrote this book was just to first of all test if I could write, because I love Lagos and I wanted to write something uplifting about Lagos and the vibe and living in Lagos and growing up in Lagos and schooling in Lagos. And so that's why I wrote the book, just to make sure there's a different side of Lagos that is normally not portrayed, that is Lagos. And basically I'll be reading an inset from my book and it will be the chapter that is Meet the Girls. So driving through Lagos on Sundays may be therapeutic. It cures one of weekdays and Saturday road madness. The free road calms your nerves and drives the demons away. Sunday is the only day of rest in the chaotic city, as Saturdays are for the unending Owambes. Driving to my friend Tara's place on a Sunday takes less than 20 minutes and all my goals will be at hers. Tara's married and she's got 2 children. And of the 7 girls, she's my confidant, the one person I could speak to frankly about things that bothered me. Once a month, the whole crew comes around to our book club. But really, it's the analysis of men. Nothing beats having friends to help you through breakups. All 7 of us come together every month to discuss the book we're reading, gossip about celebrities, to talk about our men issues. Occasionally, mutual friends pop in when they can. And this is our own therapy, a way of talking about the stress we go through each month, including men and money tales. As usual, Tara's house was buzzing with noise. Tara, I must say, married smart and right. This is where the Nigerian way comes into play. Do you marry smart? Or do you marry for love? Or do you marry for convenience? My mother taught me to marry a man that loves me. My book and movies tell me to marry a man you love and loves you. My brain tells me I marry a man I love, not just him loving me. So many conflicting ideologies. Tara married a classmate, University Dyer. Their relationship was one of those classroom romances that should naturally fizzle out after school days. But the lovebirds stayed in touch throughout the NYC days, and 3 years after we had a wedding to plan. They were just both starting out life and we're all skeptical about our choice, but their love didn't care. Over the years, Dad has been doing so well career-wise, and Tara did not have to resume her corporate job after her first baby. She got herself involved in what she loves doing best, catering, and she's made enough money from it. It's been 5 years and my friend has never ever regretted marrying her husband for one day. My name is Anoluwa Koka and I'm the author of this book, The Sweetest Thing. Thank you all for listening and cheers.